Bitcoin is about to run to 100K. The chart's moving, the breakout is triggering. It's happening right now as we speak. So if you don't act on this right now, you're going to miss out with no bags to show for it. So watch this video, hit like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to show you exactly what's about to happen next and when we're going to 100K. Let's get into it. All right, crypto bros, let's take a look at exactly what's going on here in Bitcoin. Now, if you watched the last video that we recorded, I said we're probably going to see a pullback here. We're going to see a bull trap, potentially down to the 50-day moving average. Now, we did not get down to the 50-day moving average. We only pulled back to about 60K. Now the 50-day moving average is just about 700 points below that low at about 59,300. So I had been accumulating mostly as we got near that level, but at the time, Bitcoin was only about 56K. So there's quite a big drop still left in it to potentially happen. And you can't factor out or not count out the idea that that could potentially happen. You always have to factor in worst case scenario and allow yourself still to have capital to deploy if the worst case scenario pans out. So you can buy that dip if that goes along with the narrative that you're trying to play along with, which is the bull narrative right now, which is what we're trading. The problem is most people go all in and FOMO in, and then when things do happen in the worst case scenario, say it did go down to the 50-day moving average, rather than having the ability and free capital to add on that dip, people are thinking about getting stopped out, or they are getting stopped out or liquidated because they went in too big too early. So you should never be all in on your portfolio. You should always have free capital to deploy when things get worse than you are expecting. But as of right now, it's not looking like we are actually pulling back to that 50-day moving average as prices back up to 71,000 as of right now. If we look at Ethereum, Ethereum did pull all the way back down to the 50-day moving average. Ethereum pulled back about 25%, whereas Bitcoin only pulled back from the top of the market just about 17%. And now we're setting up to potentially form up a bullish flag to break out then of the all-time highs at about 73,600, and then that will be the run to 100K. Now, oddly enough, or not oddly, but similarly, this is kind of exactly what happened last time when we retested the previous high of Bitcoin here at about 19.6. What happened as soon as we got up to that level? Bitcoin pulled back, not massively, but we did see a pullback about 16%. And right now, Bitcoin just pulled back 17%. And then at this time, formed up a bullish flag pattern before then breaking out the actual all-time high again. And then things were just off to the races and skyrocketing. So we are actually kind of similarly setting up in the same pattern as of right now here on Bitcoin, where we came up, retested the previous high, dropped 17.2%, whereas the previous bull run, it was 16%, and now potentially forming up what could be a flag pattern breakout. Essentially, retesting these highs could come back down again, retest for the third time, and then see the actual breakout to the upside, which could trigger the move upwards of 100K. So that's kind of the situation that we're looking at right now. There's a lot of altcoins that are setting up in very, very bullish patterns that are looking to be potential breakout patterns. A lot of the altcoins have already made massive runs. I have a video coming out right after this about which coins I'm watching right now. There are a lot of people looking at coins that have already gone parabolic. And for me, that's a little bit risky to be trading something that's parabolic. A lot of the AI coins have gone parabolic. RWA has gone parabolic. And so I'm looking for coins that are still a little bit under the radar, still a little bit more diamonds in the rough that are looking to break out now with Bitcoin breaking out above all-time highs. And that will allow them to have a lot more upside potential. It doesn't mean the other coins can't run as well. But if this is not a breakout, and Bitcoin does see a big drop and this creates a trap here, the coins that people are buying into parabolic, such as all the AI coins who have gone parabolic, RWA, a lot of the memes, there is so much more downside potential on those coins. So there's a lot more risk. And you have to be factoring in, what if this doesn't break out? What if we don't go to 100K? What if stocks pull back? What if Nvidia's run is over? Right? These are all things that we have to factor in and prepare for. And it's people who don't prepare for the worst and don't prepare for those situations are the ones who don't survive. Right? My entire goal of a trader over the last 20 years that I've been doing this is capital preservation and survival. We all make mistakes. We all miss out on things. We all make really dumb decisions all the time. But it's the ones who make the dumb decisions, the biggest, dumbest decisions, and don't prepare for the worst are the ones who lose everything and don't have the ability to wake up the next day and keep playing the game. And all we're trying to do is keep playing this game, keep having a portfolio to work with and not lose everything. Because if you lost 50 to 70 to however much percent of your account, you're done. You're mentally broken. all you're going to do to try to get that back is swing for the fence and do something completely irrational, and it's not going to work out, and it's going to snowball, and you're going to lose everything. So we always have to look for worst case scenarios and be prepared for that happening and protect ourselves so we can focus on capital preservation if things don't go our way. But if things do go our way, we can still take advantage of it and make a lot of money. So basically what I'm looking for right now here on Bitcoin is a retest of the previous high, of which right now we're up 1,300 points, almost 2%. Retested this level, potentially some sort of consolidation in this range. Boom, boom, boom. Like, right, the more we consolidate under this level and continue to test, the more bullish it is because it's a flag pattern consolidation breakout, and then we rip to the upside. And initial target is obviously 100K. That's a huge psychological number, 100,000. That'll probably be an area where a lot of people start looking to take profits, myself included. But that doesn't mean that has to be the top. But what we also have to factor in here is how much more upside does the U.S. stock market have? If all of a sudden the U.S. stock market, which is at all-time highs and has been for a while now, decides, hey, you know what, we're due for a 5 to 15% healthy pullback, which would be completely normal. That's going to also get in the way of the momentum of Bitcoin in something that's going to be difficult, right? The markets are never easy. Sometimes money is easily made, but a lot of times this volatility in between that is easy to get shaken out. And even though your thesis of, I think it's going to 100K, you might get involved in some sort of crazy volatile situation where Bitcoin drops 30%, then up another 30%, down 30%, up 70%, and you miss the opportunity because you might have gone too big too early and then get stopped out or liquidated. So trading is not easy. Anybody who tells you otherwise is a fucking liar, and they're trying to sell you something that that they can make money on, because they're probably not making any money on trading. But if we look at S&P 500, we're just riding the degenerate trend super, super bullishly. There's no real reason to say that this is going to be the top here other than the fact that it's at 5,000, but we haven't broken the trend. It's still running. NASDAQ is creating another bullish formation breakout pattern here. If we rip above this high about 18.3, NASDAQ could potentially run up to the next hold number psychological resistance at 20K. Okay, if we look at Nvidia, Nvidia is coming back up to retest its highs, up about $1,000, 957 bucks. Now, obviously, $1,000 is going to be a big psychological barrier. It's the highest it's ever been. $1,000 is a big psychological number that could easily be an area where Nvidia might top out, and people just like, all right, this is crazy. It's way above its earnings multiple. Obviously, AI is going to be the future, and there's so much upside potential, but it's already way past its valuations at this point. And there's going to be a point in time when Nvidia shit hits the fan and things come crashing back down, just like we saw on this run right here. Nvidia went on a major epic run, but what happened within that run? It dropped nearly 70%. So there's likely going to be another 70% drop at some point on Nvidia. When that happens, I have no idea, but it's going to happen at some point. And when that does, that's obviously going to affect the entire AI market. All your AI coins are going to be affected by it, which drop like this is also going to affect the entire US stock market and NASDAQ. So you have to be cautious that this is a bubble. Bubbles always pop. It doesn't mean that it can't go to new highs in the future, but 67% drop on a stock, that's insane, okay? And it's going to happen again, and you have to be aware that it is going to happen again. It's not always just this huge party of fucking things going up nonstop. So that's kind of what the situation is right now. We do need to continue this bull run in the stock market for, I believe, crypto to keep running. But as of right now, Bitcoin's looking super bullish. Right? We're ripping up to this level, retesting the all-time highs. I'd say, I'm 60% in favor of 100K, but I can't count out there's probably about a 40% factor of this could trap, right? We're breaking out above the previous highs, even on the weekly chart. Let's say like the highest weekly close was 61,000. If we start getting weekly closes back below that level, I think that's not looking good for Bitcoin. And we have to be cautious about the long positions we're in, because this could easily see some sort of pullback. But as of right now, this is a super, super bullish breakout here on the weekly chart. And that could definitely run up to 100K plus on Bitcoin. So I have a lot of open positions on the long side as of right now. I'll create another video that will be released right after this so you guys can see exactly what I'm in. But I'm long crypto right now. Bullish on Bitcoin. I don't own any Bitcoin. I'm in altcoins. So let's see how this plays out. Anyways, guys, that's a wrap for today. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.